The mother and her boyfriend, who happens to be her lawyer, scammed my friend with $2,000 a month. I've been giving free money to her boyfriend and her, and my daughter only needs $500 a month. Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of the Dominican News. Today, this is an educational video, and I want to talk to you a little bit about child support and things that you should do, things that you should never do. Child support is one of the few things that work very, very good in the Dominican Republic. If you don't pay it, you are going to go to prison. If you got child support and you don't pay that, you will go to prison.
You're in here on a failure to pay child support. You're a blind amount, has to be a cash.
And even though you are in prison, you have to pay what you owe. So yes, that works. Now, but it doesn't work the way it does in the United States. I am not an expert of child support in the United States. I don't know how it works. I do know perfectly how it works in the Dominican Republic. So if I'm wrong about the United States, you correct me. So I'll be happy if you do. So don't worry. The way I think child support works in the United States is that if you make a lot of money, then you will have to pay a lot of money of child support.
The child support payments, did you ever get those lowered? Because I know at some point it was the whole thing, like $20K a month.
That's the way I see it, because I see athletes sometimes, they have to pay child support, and I see that they pay a whole bunch of money for child support. So I'm assuming that if you make a lot, then you will have to pay a lot.
There's no child on any level that needs $20,000 in Atlanta.
Right.
That is not how it works in the Dominican Republic. In the Dominican Republic, the law, not me, the law says that you have to pay 50-50. 50% the mother, 50% the father. If the baby consumes, let's say the baby needs $1,000 a month for milk, for diapers and everything. Let's say $1,000 a month. Let's assume $1,000 a month. Then you, as the father, you're going to have to pay $500. And the mother is going to take care of the rest. Maybe it sounds fair to you, or maybe it sounds unfair. That's up to you. But that is how it works in the Dominican Republic. It doesn't matter if you're a multimillionaire. So you guys are going to go to court, and the judge is going to ask the mother. So let's do the numbers. How much money does that baby need to eat, to go to school, and everything that the baby financially needs? If the mother says, okay, here's the proof, he needs, including rent and everything, the baby needs $1,000 a month. Okay, so the judge is gonna, okay, Mr. James, you are gonna pay $500 every month to her. Now, in the Dominican Republic, when you have the child support, the government doesn't take the money from you. The money, automatically. I know in the United States, you get the money withdrew from the government, automatically. They take that portion of your check. But here, no, you do it yourself. You just transfer the money to the mother and you keep your receipt. That's it. You give $500 a month in this case, and you keep your receipt. Always keep your receipt just in case. And that's it. If you don't, if she goes to court and she says that you've not been paying the child support, you show your receipt. Like, yes, ma'am, I have. But what if you don't have the receipts? Then you are in trouble because you got no proof. You are a wealthy person and you go to court. You are going to pay 50% of whatever the baby needs. Let's say, you're going to ask me, what if the mother is a poor woman that works at let's take as an example, McDonald's. I'm not trying to disrespect McDonald's. I'm just trying to do an example. Let's say she works at a McDonald's. She's not making too much money in the Dominican Republic. And you make good money as a man. So the judge is going to say, look, she's not able in this situation to do her 50% completely because she's not making enough money. So I will need you to cover at least 20% of what she's going to pay. Because it's your baby, it's gonna start, right? So in this situation, you are making an agreement. You, as a man, you agree to pay the 70%. but not because the law tells you to do it. The law tells you to pay 50. But if she can prove that she cannot cover her 50%, like she can prove it, so the judge is going to agree with you. Look, in the meantime, she's going to look for another job. So I need you to cover 20% of what she offered 50. So you're going to pay 70% now because you make more money than her. And she's going to pay 30%. Is that cool? And then if you want to, we can review the case in 6 months to see how she's doing. But you're not going to pay the 70% of a number that she came up with. You will pay 70% of what she can prove that the baby needs to survive. This is the Dominican Republic. This is not Hollywood. You are not going to come up to the judge like, okay, you got to pay a private school that costs us, $3,000 a month. No, the judge is going to tell you, no, hell, get the fuck out of here. No, you're going to take him to a normal school, like it could be a public system. That's how it works. So it doesn't matter how much money you make, child support is always going to be 50%. Why I tell you this? Because I have a friend of mine. He's from Texas and this is what happened. So he makes good money, like decent money. He's doing good. Like it's a person that's doing good in life with money, but he's not rich. He's got a business in the Dominican Republic but he lives in Texas. So he comes and goes, and he got this woman pregnant and they had a baby. The baby has to be now maybe 2 years old. And he's from Dallas, Texas. And he's one of the few white American friends that I have, because the majority of my friends from the United States are black and I love them all. So I'm just trying to tell you, like, I just have like one or two, maybe three white American friends, and he's one of those. And he told me the other day, like, hey, I've been paying child support for my baby and I need you to do this for me. He wanted me to check something at his business to help him with something. I already sent the $2,000 that I always send. And I was like, $2,000 you pay for child support? And I was like, yes, I've been paying $2,000 for about 2 years now, a month. I'm like, okay, 2,000. Well, that's not my business. So that's his private life. And I was like, quiet. All right. But then he was like, why are you surprised? Isn't that the regular? I was like, no, hell no. Because I know, I know where your daughter lives. She doesn't live in a wealthy area, or she doesn't live in not even a nice place. She lives like in the regular Dominican Republic. I mean, how much is she even paying for rent in a normal Dominican house? You're going to pay what? $300 in the neighborhood, like in a regular Dominican house, $250 rent. I'm talking about the regular neighborhood in the Dominican Republic. And that's where the daughter lives, the little one. So he told me, no, I got a call from a lawyer, and we did all the process over the phone, and we agreed, because of the law, blah, 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 that I have to pay $2,000 a month, or I'm going to go to prison when I get there, blah, blah, blah. I told him, look, if you don't pay child support, then you will get in trouble and you might go to prison. But that is not how it works. You don't do child support arrangement or agreement over the phone. You got to go to court, and the judge is the one that is going to tell you how much exactly you got to pay, and you got to pay 50% of whatever the daughter needs every month. He was like, for real? Yes. And I don't think that this 2-year-old girl needs $4,000 a month, because if you're paying $2,000, it's because the judge decided that $4,000 is what she needs to survive. So you're paying half. Oh, he was like, oh, I didn't know. Yeah, you got to pay half, 50% or whatever. And I don't think that's the case. $4,000 is not the case. I was like, okay, what do I do? So the call he got from the attorney that he got the call from. He's actually the attorney of the girl. He's the attorney. He didn't lie about that. But this attorney happens to be the new boyfriend. He happens to be the new boyfriend of the woman, of his ex.
Hold on, just a second. Let me make sure I got this straight.
You know what I'm saying? So he got scammed by the boyfriend of the woman. Of course, she's aware. I mean, they both did it. Like, hey, call him and put some pressure on him and tell him that he has to pay $1,000, man. And I was like, what the? No, you don't. No, that's not how it works. So there was a couple of times where he didn't get like a receipt. He was here in the Dominican Republic and he just paid the $2,000 child support to the mother. The majority of the time he did it through Western Union, so he got the receipt. But sometimes he just did it face to face and he just paid the money cash, like 6 times. So we went to court and I went with him and she said that he is 6 months behind. And guess what? He had to pay the 6 months because he doesn't have the proof, because he did it in cash, that he paid it. So yes, first he had to pay it 6 months that he had behind. And that's number one. But then when the judge, we talked to the judge and the judge determined that the girl perfectly survives with $500 a month. Like the baby needs $500 a month and she will do just fine. She can go to a private school. Well, the mother works and the baby stays like at a babysitting place where he stays. So they got to pay that. And the daughter, to pay the rent and blah, blah, blah. So including the rent and everything, $500 a month. That's what the baby needs. And guess what? Guess how much my friend had to pay? $250 a month. That is what the judge stated that he has to pay of child support. $250, which is the 50% of 500. And he had to pay the 6 month behind that he had behind. He had to pay it, but multiplied by $250. So he had to pay almost $2,000. Something, almost $2,000 for he allegedly had behind. But when he said the judge, but I've been paying $2,000 every month, the judge says, look, I know you did, but unfortunately, you did it because you wanted to. She didn't even force you. You did it because you wanted to. That's not you don't have a recorded call where it says that you got a call from this lawyer. So it is what you say against what you can prove. So he lost almost 2 years of $2,000 every month. And unfortunately, he lost that money. But now he's only got to pay $250 a month for child support. He loves his daughter. His daughter had got nothing to do to whatever the mother did. But yeah, the mother and her boyfriend, who happens to be her lawyer, scammed my friend with $2,000 a month for almost 2 years. That's 24 months, almost 24 months, because like almost 2 years. So guys, ask someone about how things work. And my friend was like, damn, bro, I've been supporting this. I've been giving free money to her boyfriend and her. And my daughter only needs $500 a month. And I will only pay $250. My friend, he got no problem giving the $500 100%. But according to the law, you're only going to do 50%. All right. You can do 100% if you want to. You know what I'm saying? So that's the educational video that I have for you today. Thank you very much for supporting the channel. Thank you. I appreciate it. And please hit the like button and subscribe. I love you all. Bye-bye.